Hey, what's up YouTube? It is Saturday morning. I'm out of breath because I've been hiking. We out here early. I want to talk to y'all about some recovery stuff. So right now, I'm actually coming up on 2 weeks shy of 1 year sober, which is fucking crazy. The longest I've ever been clean has been like maybe 8 or 9 months. I did that by myself. I wasn't in any recovery groups or anything. But now that I'm in a recovery group and I'm much more active in my recovery, I feel like I have a much stronger backbone, that I have a much stronger shield to stay sober than I did before. I'm much more active and looking out for myself, knowing my triggers, knowing what's going to get me to relapse again, and I'm going to make sure that that's not going to happen. Back in the day, for a Saturday morning, I would be hungover as fuck right now. There's no way I'd be out here hiking at 6 in the morning getting it in. I'd be having a headache. I'd be sending apology texts. I'd be feeling like a piece of shit, wondering what I said or did the night before. My bank account would probably be like in the negative. But life's not like that now. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to stay addicted to substances your whole life. You can quit that shit at any time. Ever since this pandemic stuff started, I swear, like, it seems like the levels of addiction are rising, and it's for like every substance. I'm seeing more methadone and Suboxone clinics pop up. I'm seeing a lot more overdoses happen, a lot of DUIs, people I know getting strung out on shit, and it's depressing. The other day, I was coming home from bringing in groceries, and I live in a pretty nice neighborhood, and I was pulling up in my parking spot, and next to me, there's this girl just straight up nodded out in her car. I just saw the head down, and I know what that look is. I was concerned about her, so I wanted to go back and check up on her, make sure she was okay. So I went outside, and then her head was back this time, so I just knocked on her window, and she just stared at me, and then just nodded out again. It's like Night of the Living Dead out here. And I mean, I've been there myself, so I'm not judging people, but it's just really sad to see people not living anywhere close to their full potential. And now that I'm coming up on a year, it's just so nice to not live without all the shame and guilt every day and just being overwhelmed by that constantly. I feel like I'm a better son. I'm more attentive at work, at home, and in my friendships. I'm not dishonest. I'm better with my money and my spending habits. I'm not as impulsive. I used to just go hammered on eBay late at night and just buying the dumbest shit, spending money that I didn't have on stuff that I don't need. I'm much better at work. Like my workload is pretty insane right now, and there's no way I'd be able to handle it if I had still been using. There's just no way I'd be able to do it. And now I'm killing it. Got a raise the other week, and I think it's because I'm showing so much more progress, getting a lot more things done. I'm not as quick to anger anymore. A year and a half ago, I was so quick to anger. Even things online, read a comment, and it would piss me off. And nowadays, it's like, I don't give a shit. If someone pisses me off, it's a stranger on the internet. Why do I care? Why am I going to invest 1 ounce of energy on that? Or even in life. I think the Dalai Lama said something about he who holds on to anger, it's like a flame. You just burn yourself if you hold on to it. I totally fucked that up, but it's something like that. Either way, the message is still the same. Anger does nothing but it hurts yourself. You try to push it on others, but it doesn't do anything positive for you. One thing that I noticed coming up on a full year of sobriety, I made the right move, did what they recommended in the program, and not date for a year. I wanted to have a year completely clean before I dated. Early on, when I had 2-3 months clean, I was contemplating dating. There's this really cute girl who I kind of liked. I didn't really know that well, but I was kind of nervous. I didn't know her that well. And I was thinking about going out. And then in the back of my head, I was like, well, if I'm nervous, I can just have a few drinks beforehand, right? And then just hearing that little inner voice in my head was like, dude, your recovery's not strong enough yet. Are you really going to relapse over a date that may not go well with this girl that you don't know? You're going to throw that all away for that? So I realized I was going to put off dating again. And I think that was a really smart move. I notice I'm not as tempted to drink or pick up anymore either. I go to a lot of concerts. I'm big into metal, punk, and hip hop. I go to a lot of shows, and most of the venues sell alcohol there. And there's people doing drugs there too. But early on, I would be really bothered seeing people drinking and having it around. And nowadays it doesn't bother me at all, especially if I'm going to an event with a purpose. If I was going to a bar for no reason and I had no reason to be there, that would be more of a trigger. So I don't go into bars or places that sell alcohol for no reason. I'm only going if I have a reason to go. Having some clean time and getting off the substances, it's kind of like getting out of a bad relationship. Bro, look at all, I don't know if you can see all these lily pads back here. There's like 1,000 fucking lily pads back there. Pardon me if I keep looking down. I'm watching out for roots because I think I'm gonna like trip over here. But yeah, getting off of substances, it's like getting out of a bad relationship. You don't quite realize how bad, unhealthy, and unmanageable it is until you're out of it. When you're free, you can start to be yourself and discover who you really are again. Think about what you want to do with your life. Like, are you unhappy with your lifestyle and your patterns of drug use, alcohol use? You don't have to keep doing that shit. And if you are struggling, don't hold that shit in. Like they say in the 12-step programs, you know, pain shared is pain lessened. Whether you're on internet forums, you're in 12-step groups, or even if you're just telling your family. That's a big thing for me. When I was really struggling and I was coming off of kratom, and I was freaking out every day, I had to tell my family, because my parents, my family, my coworkers that were close to me, they knew there was something wrong. I didn't want them to worry about me. Like, I didn't want them to think like I was losing my mind or something. I just wanted to like get them in like, hey, I'm coming off of this stuff. I might need help. I might need you to be on me about some shit. And I just wanted people to know what exactly was going on. And it makes you more responsible too. So by you telling on yourself, you're kind of getting rid of that safety net. We all have these safety nets for us to keep using our substances. I thought I was so slick back in the day, hiding pints, hiding kratom capsules, bringing shit with me everywhere, pre-gaming all the time before like any event whatsoever. But we're not that slick, because eventually it catches up to us and people know. But when you just straight up own it and you tell people, you kind of sever some of that safety. You're never going to have control over everything. Like, you can't control how people treat you. You can't control all the random things that happen in the day, but you can control how you react to things. And when you're not taking substances, you can control that a lot better. You can break that cycle. You can be a stronger, better individual without taking all this shit. If you're in active addiction right now and you're taking substances to mask your problems, what exactly is it doing? Has it actually helped you at all? Has it gotten rid of your problems? Because really all you're doing is it's a temporary band-aid. You got a mess on the floor and you're just sweeping all that dirt under the rug and you're ignoring it. And all that pain and suffering and trauma that you're refusing to acknowledge is still there. In one of my other videos, I mentioned a breakup I was going through, and it was really fucking traumatic. That's what caused me to get on kratom and start abusing it. I was on it for a couple of years. Years later, I was still upset. I was still crying over that relationship. I was still holding on to that pain. So all that using did nothing. It just delayed my suffering. It was all still there. So it was just a waste of money, a waste of time, and I was a pathetic excuse of a person. And I didn't want to live that way anymore. And you don't have to live that way anymore either. Like, fuck that shit. And when I say you don't have to live that way anymore, don't just watch YouTube videos or listen to podcasts. I mean, all that stuff's good. Those are good tools. But actually do something. Get a journal. You should write out your thoughts and feelings. Make videos. Do what I'm doing. Even if you don't think anyone's going to watch them, a lot of times it's cathartic. It's good for you just to get your thoughts out there in the universe and have a record of it. And you can go back and check them out down the road. Another thing I recommend is getting a sobriety tracker app. There's a lot of free ones out there just to keep track how long you've been sober. The one I like to use is called Sober Time. It's in the Google Play Store. It's free, but it's useful. It's good for keeping an eye on yourself. You get proud of yourself when you see your clean time. You don't want to be obsessed with it, checking it every day, constantly like, oh, one more day. But every once in a while, it's cool just to open up and be like, damn, I've been clean almost a fucking year. I've never done that before. This is the longest I've been clean since I was 12, which is insane. That's insane. I was talking to a girl in my 12-step group the other day, and we were talking about my anniversary that's coming up. And it was like the same kind of thing. She's like, it's always weird just because we're so used to our old patterns and way of life that it's just mind blowing to have a year clean and to finally be free. Since getting clean, definitely not as selfish. I don't lie. I'm better to others. You can kind of find out who you really are. We go through life, and a lot of times, like, we feel like we're stuck on autopilot, like we're just go, go, go all the time. And when you're pouring booze and substances down your throat every day, you're not really yourself. So when you remove all that, you kind of become more at one with yourself. Another thing I recommend is starting to meditate. It's kind of hard. It's like starting to go to the gym. It takes effort. Sometimes I'll have to set myself a reminder on my phone. They even got apps like Headspace. That's a really great app. I tried the free trial version. It lasted a week, but then they got me. They got me for the year. It automatically billed. I forgot to cut off my free trial, and it's like, you know what? I guess I'm gonna start meditating now. Now that I paid for it, I guess I have to do it. So maybe do something like that. Once you pay for it, like, you'll feel like you have to do it. But it's a great ritual. It's a great way to start the day and get off on the right foot. And even if like hardcore cardio or weightlifting isn't your thing, even something like yoga, just stretching, getting more in tune with your own body. Because for so many years we destroyed our bodies, whether we knew it or not. There hasn't even been extensive studies done on long-term use of kratom. That shit could be killing your liver, your kidneys, your insides. You're very destructive when you're really addicted to it. So I would suggest putting in some work and just working on your body and your mind, both of them together as you're recovering from this. Another thing I would recommend is work on your boundaries. That's one thing a lot of us addicts struggle with. It's okay to say no to people. Like, you don't have to do shit. You don't have to be a people pleaser, constantly saying yes and doing things that you don't want to do. If you're put in an uncomfortable situation that you don't want to do it, fucking say no. It's your life. If someone has a problem with that, fuck them. You know, that's their problem. I'll miss some of the people I used to party with. And if they invite me, I'd probably go and hang out in certain situations. There's like a group, you know, hangout or something like that, I'd probably go. But if it's like a wild fucking party, like a kegger or something like that, and a lot of times there would be like hard drugs at those parties, I would say no. Like, I would know better to say no. So, you know, working on that self-respect and your confidence and your boundaries and saying no is a very big thing. I didn't want to make this video too long. I'm trying to post one at least once or twice a month. I think I can do it around twice a month. I'm really busy a lot of times, but I can squeeze in one here and there. So every now and then I'll be sure to keep posting more shit. I just wanted to thank you all for watching this. Hopefully I'm helping some of y'all. Maybe I'm not, maybe I'm just ranting, I don't know. I feel like it helps me to talk. So even if not a lot of people watch this, I feel like I get something out of it just sharing. And even if I help one person, I feel like it's worth it. And a message to all the haters out there. I've had people accuse me of being a shill for big pharma. I started laughing so hard at that shit. Dude, you just want to see kratom be illegal. Like, you're a shill for big pharma. What are you doing, bro? Dude, how out of touch of reality are you, man? Get the fuck out of here. I'm just sharing my personal experience. And I don't have a problem with people that do use kratom. If you can use it responsibly and it's not affecting you negatively, why do I care? I'm not judging you. I think all drugs should be legal. I'm all for harm reduction. I'm all for safe access. So trying to make kratom illegal is nothing that I'm interested in. If you're coming off of heroin or you have severe pain issues but it works for you, by all means use it. My videos are more meant towards people who are abusing it, who have no opiate addiction, who have no pain issues, and they're using it recreationally and they're struggling with it. And there's a lot of people like that. I talk to them all the time. So that's who my videos are kind of more geared towards. And honestly, people have been saying that kratom was going to be made illegal for years and years, but it's still here and it's actually more popular than ever. So if you get benefit from it and it's helping your quality of life, I'm not judging you. Like, that's fine. But for the people that are struggling and want to get off, that's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people like me. I'm talking to where I was at a year ago. And there was a lot of YouTubers that helped me out. I'm sure a lot of you know Gimme Your Snacks on YouTube. He makes a lot of videos as well. And he was kind of my mentor, basically. I actually talk to him every once in a while on YouTube in the comments or on Facebook. And he's a really cool dude. And he kind of inspired me to get my shit together. I saw like he was exactly where I was. We actually work a similar kind of job. It's really weird, but I looked up to him and I was like, oh shit, this dude can do it. And he was going through the same exact shit. I can do it too. So I just want to relay that message. If you're going through hell right now, you don't have to be stuck there. So take fucking action. Don't just sit and say you're going to do it tomorrow. Like, fucking start. Get through the suffering, because that's the only way to get to the other side and get clean and be good again. It's worth it. Whether you got to taper, whether you got to do cold turkey, or same thing with alcohol. Like, I was struggling with alcohol really bad too. I had to stop that shit. I stopped going to bars. I stopped going to parties. I stopped hanging around crowds that weren't good for me. And I only hung out with people that were trying to build me up and look out for me and, you know, increase my quality of life. It's like that crab in the pot syndrome that people talk about. There's a lot of people that want to bring you down in life. Misery loves company. And you don't need that shit. Try to aim upwards and do better. That first video that I made, I kind of made it on a whim. I just came home from work. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm not trying to bullshit anybody. I literally just want to help people get clean and get off of this stuff and get to a better place in life. That's all I want to do. So if any of you out there are going through this shit, you can do it. Just stick with this. My videos are unscripted and sometimes I feel like I ramble a lot, but hey, that's kind of what I like to do. So apologies if it's a little rough, but I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just starting out and I'm just kind of dropping my thoughts on people. A lot of us don't realize how good that we have it, and things can only be a lot better when you're going through this shit clean. For any of you that are struggling right now, I think it's helpful to contemplate gratitude and all that we have to be grateful for in this life. There's a lot of good out there in the world. Also try to connect spiritually with yourself. It doesn't have to be church. It doesn't have to be God. It doesn't have to be organized religion. You can call it the universe. Just feel more of a connection with nature and with the world. And despite all the bullshit that's going on in the world, there's a lot of beauty and a lot of amazing things in life. There could be horrible things going on in your family or in your personal life, but every day that you wake up, it's a miracle too. And things change. Things don't always stay the same. They can get better. And when you're not popping pills down your throat, slamming shots every day, there's a whole lot more to be grateful for, and you're a lot more present in life. And hopefully a lot of you are able to get there too. So coming up on a year, it's fucking crazy. If I can do it, you can do it. And granted, shit's not perfect. I still got a bit of an attitude sometimes, and I got to catch myself. I could fly off the handle sometimes. I mean, not bad, but just verbally, like I could be a bit of an asshole sometimes, but I'm better at catching myself, and I don't let people get a rise out of me. So it's totally worth it though. But all right, that's enough rambling from me today. So I just want to thank you all for watching, and I'll be sure to post some more shit in the future. Take it easy, y'all.